All right, so let's talk about the situation involving Daniel Penny. Daniel Penny, if you recall, Daniel Penny is the guy who they was charged of criminally neglected homicide after choking a black man in a subway a while back. And let's get the full details on this because he has been acquitted.
It is, Bianca. We're right next to a group of pro-Jordan Neely protesters who've been here throughout the morning. They were actually part of the group that the defense had argued was disrupting the jury. What we can tell you, though, now is that Daniel Penny has been found not guilty of criminally negligent homicide. That was the second count. Remember, the first count, the jury could not come to a conclusive decision on a unanimous decision. But this one, they were unanimous, not guilty. The jury deliberating for more than 24 hours across 5 days before finally reaching this verdict. Daniel Penny found not guilty on all counts. On Friday, the judge overseeing dismissed the more severe charge of second-degree manslaughter, which carried a 15-year maximum sentence after the jury was unable to reach that unanimous verdict on that count. Now, a jury of 12 New Yorkers been locked down in that courtroom, like we said, for 5 days. It was 24 hours of deliberations trying to get to that first count. Once the judge dismissed that first count, they went to the second count, and that's when they finally got this decision where he was found not guilty of criminally negligent homicide. And that was shortly after they started deliberating this morning. They came in just after 10 a.m. this morning. They were inside for a little over an hour. There was some back and forth between the defense and the judge. When the defense came out, they came up to the judge and said, there's been protesters. And with so many windows open in the courtroom, we're told from our reporter, Michelle Ross, who's been inside, that there are so many windows open in that courtroom because of how hot it is in that building, that they could hear the protesters potentially from down in the street. The judge argued, well, there was protests on both sides. You had Jordan Neely protesters and you had Daniel Penny protesters. So both of them have been at each other. The defense was arguing that the Neely protesters were louder and the jury could potentially hear that, and that's why they would need to possibly switch rooms. That didn't get to that point because the jury found him not guilty of criminally negligent homicide. You know, at the request of prosecutors on Friday, the judge dismissed that second-degree manslaughter count. That was the big one. That carried a maximum of 15 years. This second count carried 4 years. There was no minimum in either of these counts. This directed the jury to turn to that lesser charge. What that means is now you're free to consider count 2. Now, whether or not that makes any difference or not, we'll see. But what we're going to do is wait for Michelle Ross because she's coming here. Prosecutors allege that Penny killed Neely. We'll go back to what this case is. A 30-year-old homeless man who had previously been a Michael Jackson impersonator when he placed him in a 6-minute-long chokehold on a subway car last year, including for 51 seconds after his body went limp. Now, Assistant District Attorney have argued that Penny knew his actions could kill Neely, but continued to hold him in a chokehold for what they said was way too long, and they did not recognize his humanity. The medical examiner concluded that the chokehold did kill Neely. The defense arguing that Neely died from a genetic condition, they say, and that this.
Oh God, are they doing the genetic thing again? It's like the whole thing with George Floyd about how he had like lethal doses of fentanyl in him and he was going to die anyway. Oh my God. I can understand the complexity of the charging and of course the deadlocking or the not being able to come to a unanimous decision. It's a tough one. Overall, it is a tough one. I don't like the outcome. I don't like that he did it. Make no fucking mistake about that. But it's a very difficult outcome to come to because he wasn't acting like, Derek Chauvin. You know what I mean? Right? Like they were trying to restrain this guy and he fucking overdid it. It was, the whole, the manslaughter charge is something that I'm surprised that they didn't get him on that one. Yeah, I know. Right. It's the genetic thing is kind of weird. That is definitely like a what the fuck sort of thing. And that line, No, Derek Chauvin was George Floyd. The Ferguson cop was I forget his name. But that was actually proven where like Michael Brown attacked. So like that's a whole other fucking issue. The Michael Brown thing was largely predicated on the media misinformation and a lot of other bullshit. Ferguson cop. Yeah, he left. He dipped. I don't know where he's at now. Ezra Miller made a short film, kind of like supporting that cop. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, let's finish this up because that genetic thing is crazy.
Synthetic marijuana found in his system. The jury saying they did not believe that. The defense attorney telling jurors that Penny acted to save subway passengers from a violent and desperate, that's a quote here, Neely, who was acting erratically and, quote, scared the living daylights out of everybody. But they were arguing that Neely was fighting back, and Penny continued to hold on because he feared he could break free, but he did not intend to kill Neely. We're waiting now for Michelle Ross to come out. The reporters are being forced to leave the courtroom. Right now we have a bunch of protesters who are yelling at us, pro-Neely protesters, as we report to you this afternoon, telling us to report something different than what was said inside that courtroom today.
The alternative facts people are out there again. Yes, Rational. He was a former Marine. Let's see. Parallax here says synthetic weed is no good. Makes people wig out hard, especially what's that, K through 2? Is that like kindergarten through second grade? What is K2? I don't know what K2 is. I don't smoke weed. Is synthetic weed like the shit you vape? I don't know. I mean, again, if they believe that there was a threat, and that's what it's really all the defense had to argue, was that there was a threat and that he was acting to protect people, and then it ultimately resulted in a death. That wasn't. What do you do? I mean, like, I've been in the bathroom once. Someone had like an epileptic. Some guy had a seizure or something. Like he had a freak out. I forget what it was. I was like 9, and this guy just tore apart a bathroom, and I was like alone in the stall. And this dude just fucking went ape shit in a bathroom. And they found me in there, and they were like, hey, let's get this kid some cocoa and like take him back to his parents. So you never fucking know. I don't even know, man. Let's see here. Jordan Neely, I think is what it is, right? Still had a pulse and police took him. I mean, yeah, but if his air, I mean, I don't know, man. Like either way, this is a tragic situation, but we are gonna see here. All right, so you've got the family of Jordan Neely speak after the not guilty verdict reached in Daniel Penny's subway chokehold trial. So this is what
these wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their...
See, here we go. But this right here, Daniel Penny's critics are trying to cause a race riot. No, I don't know about that, man. Like saying goddamn America is, I mean, if your fifis are hurt by someone saying goddamn America, then you're fucking pussy, dude. You're fucking pussy ass bitch. Oh no, someone says goddamn America. Oh fuck, shit, cock ass motherfucker. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? That to me is funny as fuck, though, to be fair. That to me is funny as fuck. Just because it's like people getting all mad about that shit, right? And then you've got, though, this isn't going to go over well, to be fair. This is Daniel Penny celebrating the win. This might not be good.
How you feeling? Yeah.
He's feeling good.
What's up?
We're
Come together. How's it going? How's it feel?
Feels great. He's finally got the justice he's deserved.
Did you think it was going to happen?
Sorry? No, we think that this...
But look at this guy's face, though. Like, this is a shell shock right here. Right? Like, people are celebrating what I feel like on his behalf. But if you look, when the guy's like, how does it feel? How does it feel good? Do you feel good? I'll tell you this: if it were me, and it was like a whole thing went to go down, and it was accident, shit went down, I'd be like, I wouldn't be at a bar celebrating. I don't think I'd be at a bar celebrating. I really don't think so. Let's see here. Neely was homeless, and his dad is only upset now that his son died while harassing passengers on a train. Neely would have been alive if his parents didn't abandon him. I mean, you can make that argument, right? Now, the thing is, rational, he lives in New York and shit. And so, I mean, I can kind of understand where you're coming from on that shit. However, I mean, the we don't know the circumstances of everything. Maybe you do. I don't. But, I mean, come on. I can't get behind that. That's fucking cold-blooded. That's cold-blooded. That is, man. But Penny here, I said Perry earlier, I apologize. You just look at him, right? And he's got that, either he's drunk, which it's entirely possible, but he's got this, the deadness of the eyes, right? He's look at him. He might be fucked up. Might be shell shock. It might be depression. It might be alcohol. He just is he doesn't, I don't know. I mean, it almost looks like he doesn't know where he is right now. And then he's turns around and leaves, and I get that, right? He's I'm going back to the bar. Fucking shit. There you go. Maybe that's what he's just drunk. I don't know. Maybe he's just fucking hammered. So it's kind of crazy, kind of fucking nuts that we've come this far. I don't want anyone to die. I feel bad when people fucking, when that shit happens, because it is terrible. It is absolutely fucking terrible. So, folks, we have found ourselves in a very interesting situation. No, it doesn't look like he doesn't care. He definitely, I mean, there's a difference between not caring and having that very vacant look in his eyes. You know what I mean? So there's that, right? Parallax probably celebrated in the bathroom, snowflakes